The GOAT has finally EZA'd. How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video, and it is finally here. The long-awaited EZA for the LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I'm not gonna lie, I was worried we just might get it. After all, they've skipped over this guy for so long. I was certain at some point it was probably never gonna happen. But nonetheless, it is finally here in the appropriate celebration, no less. It's not some random EZA that makes no sense, like Beerus or something. It came at the right time, and so we are here to take a look at what he's doing. I'm telling you, he looks phenomenal just at first glance. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna hop in, take a look at what he's doing and what else we could possibly see at this upcoming celebration on JP, and what it means for global when we'll be seeing this guy come to global. So first things first, let's hop on over to Minato's Flashes page over here on Twitter. Shout out to him for getting the translations up. Unfortunately, Goresh wasn't available, and Dokkan Wiki doesn't seem to have posted it yet, so we're going to rely on his translations for now. So, we have Leader Skill, Super, Tech Types, Key 4, Attack Defense, HP, 120%, Extreme Tech, Key 3, HP Attack Defense, 90%. For his era of LR, that makes sense, the leader skill, not that you're using him for leader skill unless you're running like Battlefield or something, but there it is. On his 12 key, he is greatly raising his attack infinitely. Wow, that's amazing. I love that. Okay, greatly raising attack and raising defense for one turn, causing colossal damage with a high chance to stun the enemy. On his 18 key, he is massively raising his attack and raising his defense for one turn, causing mega colossal damage and massively lowering defense. So we are looking at some really good stuff here, just on those two passive effects alone, right? His ability to massively lower defense, right, in phases where that is possible, while simultaneously raising his own attacks, means that whatever he's hitting is about to take a massive blow from him. So really, really good. I like this. On his passive, he's getting attack 59% and defense 200%, so that's good. He is getting attack and defense 120% when performing a super attack. He reduces damage received by 50% until performing a super attack. So that's like that pan effect I was just talking about. They need to give him something like that. So, right, 50% defense before attacking. So that's like pan. That means that makes him really good for AoE fights. And with the raise in defense on his super, I mean, he should be okay. He's got attack 200% and disables enemy actions once within the turn when performing an ultra super attack. Okay, alright, so pretty much the first time you get an 18 key, he will negate the enemy actions. That's really good, that's really helpful. Yeah, it says once only, so I'm thinking you can only do that once, or does that just mean once only in the turn? I think it means you can only do that effect once in the fights. And it just cancels one action within the turn. Yeah, I'm thinking that that's what that means there. So, I mean, nonetheless, even just the one turn, like I talked about this back when the 7th year's released, action cancel is a very powerful ability, especially an action cancel post super. A lot of characters since the anniversary have added action cancels that cancel pre-attack, right, through their active skills. An action cancel post super is infinitely better in my opinion, because while yes, the active skills can, you know, help clear out slot 1 for you, right, sometimes for most characters, especially if they're a slot 2 or slot 3 character, they're only taking one attack, so the ability to just go straight up cancel that attack is really, really helpful. So I do like that ability. He gets key 2 up to 6 and attack 20% up to 59 with each super attack performed, so the more he attacks, the better off he is. And from the 6th turn onward, when facing one enemy and your HP is 59% or below, he has an additional 7 key and 59% attack and performs a critical hit. Very nice, but that is once only. So I've seen a lot of potential attack stats, meaning this could lead for a very, very large attack number. Like, especially with the fact that he is raising attack on his 12 key. I'd almost say for him, you would probably, just looking at this, we'll have to test him out in game, but just looking at this, you'd almost want to prioritize additionals. Normally with an effect like this, I'd say prioritize crit. I mean, since his crit is once only, but his attack stack is on his 12 key, right? So if you go additionals and supplement crit through skill orbs, I think you'll be alright. I think you'll be getting enough extra attack stats to take advantage of that massively raised attack, as well as get enough crit to actually deal some damage. So I see this dude putting out some massive numbers. Combine that with LR EZA stats, we are talking about a very, very powerful card. And I mean, just look at all the categories he's on, right? Yes, he's a Super Saiyan 3 and he helps that out, but he's on Pure Saiyans, Turtle School, Final Trump Card, Movie Heroes, Goku's Family, Mastered Evolution, Bond of Friendship, Accelerated Battle, right? Like, if you end up not pulling Super Saiyan 3 Goku when he comes here on Global, or you didn't pull him on JP, you've got this guy, and he will fill that role more than well enough. So very, very happy with how they handled this EZA. Now, as far as we know at the moment, there are no current other EZAs announced, just this guy and the Tech Tapion, but that's it for the celebration. We could see more later as we kind of really roll into part 2, but I think this is it for now. However, this is not the only thing to be announced. In fact, we have a new stage, you know, some super battle roads and whatnot coming, right? But we have more stages to the new movie bosses Ultimate Red Zone versus Bio Broly, surprisingly, and Z Broly. Now this is interesting because right now we only have the first 2 stages, Mercenary Tao and Dr. Wheelo. We don't have any more stages than that just yet. That means adding Bio Broly and Z Broly is only going to give us 2 more stages, totaling in 4 for this Ultimate Red Zone. Now, I do believe Broly is a powerful final boss material. I don't think he's the final boss for this fight. He might still be a strong fight, right? Like, I mean, Goku Black and Zamasu, they're tough fights, even though they're not the final fight. So I could see him being on that level. He's more than likely going to have an AoE, because almost every version of Z Broly fight, like specifically using this TUR, is an AoE attack, because this guy does have an AoE attack. So I'm almost certain he's probably going to have an AoE. As long as it's not the first thing and he's not throwing out a 500k attack stat, I'm sure it's going to be okay, but we will see when it drops. That said, and when is it dropping? On the 10th. Okay. That said, I don't think this is the final fight. If we look at every other Ultimate Red Zone, they all have a minimum of 5 stages, right? The original movie Red Zone had 7. Zamasu has 5. Right, the Red Ribbon Red Zone has 6. Even Dragon Ball Heroes now has 6 stages. And the Wicked Bloodline has 5 stages. So I don't think that this is the final stage. They could drop it at 4. I wouldn't be surprised, and maybe add some more during Anniversary. However, they pretty much covered every other movie boss, right? There's only one movie boss not covered here. Well, actually, there's 2, but I don't think he's the final boss, considering Tao and Wheelo are the final bosses here, and that's Garlic Jr., right? I don't think Garlic Jr. is the final boss, but I do think, right, after all, he did just release his Dokkan Fest 2R, right? At some point, we see a Hirudegarn be the final boss. I think maybe by the end of the celebration, or maybe during the anniversary, right? Maybe during the countdown to the anniversary, they'll add one more stage, and it ends up being a fight against Hirudegarn, because he is the only movie boss not represented here. So I think it's likely he could be the final boss of this event. Who knows what it'll do? Maybe he'll have some kind of crazy dodge mechanic. Hard to say right now, but just a thought. I'm thinking Broly isn't the final fight here. Definitely thinking there's going to be a bit more, since there's only 4 stages now, but we shall see. Otherwise, the big news here is the LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku EZA. He looks good on paper. We'll have to test him out. I think I saw from Halvard his best defense is 800k, but combine that with pre-defense 50% damage reduction. That's, you know, that's going to tank every attack in the game pre-super, right? So if you've got him, right, say as a 3rd slot floater here, maybe, or even in the 2nd slot, like, he's going to be tanking AoEs quite well. I think he's going to be okay, right? I don't foresee too many issues for him. especially with that action cancel, but we'll see him in game. So anyways, guys, that is the video. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let me know, what do you think of this LR EZA? I think he looks great, and great is an understatement. He looks phenomenal, and I can't wait to test him out in game. Maybe we'll do a little private server for him, because I don't have him on my JP account, so we may want to play around with him on the private server. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.